Hello, Satina here, the Indigo Mystic, and I'm here to make hopefully a very short video. I'm hoping to keep it at 5 minutes or less on my top 3 psychic self-defense techniques. These are techniques that I use practically every day. Some of them I use more than others. Some of them are the kind of techniques you're going to use more often, and some of them, yeah, you're going to be using these. I mean, I don't know how often you're going to be using these. I use these every day, and I couldn't get through life without them. I'm a full-blown physical empath, which means I physically feel other people's emotions in my body. You know that neurotransmitter release that you get when you feel a strong emotion? Well, lucky me, if I'm tuned into you, I get it too. Um, and so I've had to learn to regulate when I am tuned into people. And one of the ways that I do that is to shield and clear my energy all the time. Besides the prayers that I do morning and night, I also do energetic work and psychic self-defense. I had to learn it because I was getting psychically attacked, and maybe that'll be another video, but we're going to talk about the top 3 techniques. Let's keep it simple. The first technique is shielding. We are made of energy, and we are affected by energy. And so if we can intentionally manipulate our energy by using our thoughts, we can reduce or eliminate the impact that other people's energy has on us. And yes, that includes the archons. That includes any other negative non-physicals who happen to be messing with us at the time. So I'm going to give it to you quick and dirty because we're living in times when you need to be able to do this instantaneously. You need to be able to shield in a second. Practice it, get used to it. Make it natural. If you see it happening over and over and over in your mind enough times, then it'll even happen on its own, and you'll even get, oh, shielding, yes, I need to do that. So that's part of clairvoyance and how you develop your clairvoyance. But you don't necessarily have to be clairvoyant to do this. We are all clairvoyant, by the way. It is just one of our natural human senses, and you can develop it or not. And you can have developed it in another lifetime or not, and that will impact how easy it is to wake it up in this one. But we all have it. Anyway, you don't have to be clairvoyant to do this, but it does help if you have some kind of visualization skills, which means that you can see things in your mind's eye, that you don't have to see them with your physical eyes in order to perceive them. So, excuse me, I visualize a power source in the core of my body, just like a burst of light. And I visualize it blasting out until it is surrounding my body. And sometimes I blast it out even further to surround the room and just blast light through the entire room and push out any negative energies, push out any energies which are not serving my highest good. And I also sometimes blast it out to protect the whole apartment complex, like the night that dipwad was shooting off his gun in the vacant lot next door at night, and everybody called the police and thought somebody was getting shot. Not that time. I blast this light out, and I see it completely encasing me and completely enveloping my body. And I see it going down into the earth too. If you're standing on the ground, see it going all the way around. Don't leave any holes. All the way up, all the way down. And there's your shield. Done. Okay? Now, if you are under real psychic attack, if you are dealing with a negative entity or a negative individual who wants to do you harm, then you're going to want to go further than just that shield. That shield is for when you feel a little threatened, things are a little weird. That shield really should be used all the time, every day, especially if you talk to somebody and you feel tired afterwards, or if you're going in and you're going to talk to somebody that you're not really looking forward to talking to, or you know it's going to be a stressful conversation. Maybe it's got to do with money issues or something that, pushes your buttons, or it's your parents, or, things like that. Then you can just shield like that, and it puts you in your strength. It clears away other people's energy, and it gets you in your own. This is for when you truly feel like you're in danger. After you do that, visualize a layer of cobalt blue that goes all the way around your bubble, all over it, like an egg encasing you completely, a sphere encasing you completely, or an oval. whatever feels natural to you. I realize mine's more of an oval, like that. I did a painting actually of what it looks like. Maybe I'll put that on the end of this video so you can see, because I actually painted a painting, a mixed media piece that was a very powerful psychic self-defense mechanism when I was under psychic attack. And so you put that cobalt blue all the way on the outside, and then I get real serious about this. I put platinum spikes on the outside of that. And I intend that those platinum spikes will pop any energy that comes anywhere near me that intends to do me any harm and send that energy back to source to be transmuted back to the light. And that's my super shield. As I said, the other shield, that's my basic daily shield. That's like putting your deodorant on or something. That's just, and it's done. Okay, that is my number one psychic self-defense method. My number two psychic self-defense method is the pink bubble. And the pink bubble is what I use to protect myself from other people's emotions. Because like I said, I'm a full body physical empath. And I do feel, I can tap right in and feel other people's emotions, positive and negative, in my own body. And so the time that I really developed this was when I went to a funeral. Because I was at a funeral for a person that I didn't particularly care for, but this person was a big part of a lot of people's lives that were there at the funeral. They did care very much for him. And I was becoming completely overwhelmed by their emotions, and they weren't mine. And so, and they kind of knew that I didn't have a relationship with this guy. So it was like, why are you sobbing? It was like, pink bubble. Just visualize a pink bubble around you. Fill your bubble up with pink light. And that, for me, just instantly brings me to a place of peace and calm. Not complete peace and calm. That'd be great, wouldn't it? And then we'd never have any problems ever again, and why even incarnate at all? No, it makes me feel more peaceful. It makes me feel more calm. It makes me feel more loving. It's a soft energy. I have one around me right now, and look at me. I'm talking softer. I'm feeling softer. It's very nice. I highly recommend it. If you are feeling unloved and in need of deep emotional healing, if you've had your heart broken, if you've been betrayed, lied to, used, abused, then I picture a cocoon, which is an oval shaped, and it's pink, it's pearlescent, and it's pulsating. And it has all these little glitters, these little glittery sparks all the way through it. And that is perfect divine love from the universe wrapping you up. And it works. I have used this on clients long distance in the middle of really intense traumatic release of just bawling and having recall of past memories, past abuses, and they just feel it. It's really miraculous. The pink pearlescent pulsating cocoon. Pink pearlescent pulsating cocoon. 3 P's and a C. All right. And I would say that the third most important psychic self-defense technique that I use is to, whenever I feel feelings that I don't want to be feeling, they're not my feelings, it's not how I feel about that situation, and yet the feelings are there. Like somebody comes in and it's someone that's done something to me in the past, let's say. They've hurt me, but I have forgiven them and I understand why they did it, and we have made peace with it, and they've taken responsibility for what they did and they made amends. Well, sometimes PTSD, and sometimes it's the archons, and sometimes it's our own programming, whatever, will bring up old emotions about things that are past. And they're not the emotions that we actually feel about that situation anymore. So that is what it can feel like to be under psychic attack. That can also just be things you haven't dealt with that are bubbling up to the surface to be dealt with. And it's up to you to discern the difference between those two. But sometimes you just know. It's like, I'm thinking these things, but that's not how I feel, and yet I feel it. And even worse are the intrusive thoughts. And that's when you think thoughts that aren't yours. You have thoughts going through your head, and it's not what you think. You don't think that. Bad thoughts about somebody, let's say. And it's like, I don't think bad thoughts about that person. But the bad thoughts are there, and there they are, and you're like, I don't own those. Those aren't mine. And if you don't recognize that, and it took me years to learn to recognize those and to realize those are not my thoughts, those are not my feelings. And it was right after my spiritual awakening that I also became fully enmeshed in a great lesson on how to use psychic self-defense, because I needed to be awakened to the fact that I was a spiritual warrior and a psychic warrior. And so I came under really virulent psychic attack, and I had to learn to disown those thoughts and feelings that weren't mine. So this is a very simple technique, and it's a two-part technique. First part is you say your name. Satina, Satina, Satina. That is my given name. That is my birth name. You say your name, then you get centered in your energy. So that is one technique. Satina, Satina, Satina. Just say your name 3 times, and that'll get you centered in your own energy. And that's a really good way to test those thoughts. Remember, excuse me, how I told you that it's your job to determine whether these are your thoughts bubbling up, or your feelings bubbling up, or whether they're intrusive thoughts and feelings from outside of you. And the way that you can test that is to say your name 3 times. Satina, Satina, Satina. And then check that thought. Do you still think it? Is it still there, or is it just gone? Is the feeling still there? Do you still feel angry at that person? Well, no, I don't, because I forgave them and I understood why they did it, and we're all good now. All right. If it's worse than that, if it's more serious than that, or you check in and you're like, I've said that, and I'm feeling really dark feelings about this, and I'm thinking really dark things about this, and I don't want to be thinking these things. I know they don't serve me, and they don't serve the situation. This is where you go. These are not my thoughts. These are not my feelings. These are not my thoughts. These are not my feelings. These are not my thoughts. These are not my feelings. And I keep it that simple. Because I don't want to be thinking thoughts that I know are going to harm me, and I don't want to be feeling feelings that I know are going to harm me. So if I find myself thinking thoughts that are going to harm me, even if they're mine, disown them. You don't have to think them if you don't want to, if you know they're toxic. If it's not truth coming up to be faced by you, then disown it. These are not my thoughts. These are not my feelings. Like, well, I'm never going to get off sugar. It's impossible to get off sugar. Once you're addicted to sugar, that's it. You know, sugar is everywhere. Sugar is everything. Sugar is in every tradition. It's in every celebration. It's in every commercial. It's in every book, movie, television show that you watch. It's in every single store that you go into, and everybody wants to offer you sugar when they like you. Sugar, 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 sugar. Okay? So I could be having thoughts, this is hopeless, this is ridiculous, there's no point in this. The world's about, hey, everybody has sugar. What's the big deal? Everybody eats sugar. And those are not my thoughts on this. My thoughts on this are clear, and they are in the fuck sugar video. Those are my thoughts on this. And so, if I'm having the thoughts that it's okay to eat sugar, everybody eats sugar, and hey, it's just a part of life on earth, no, those are not my thoughts. Those are not my feelings. Those are not my thoughts. Those are not my feelings. Those are not my thoughts. Those are not my feelings. Hey, then I can get in touch with how I actually feel. And then I can get in touch with the actual thoughts that I have about a subject. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Those are 3 of my top psychic self-defense techniques. Let me know if you want more or if you have any questions. Peace out and namaste.